then we can check in and see who's beeping in. But my name is Jill Roberts. I am the social media specialist for the Campus Kitchens project, and I'm also the lead for the Raise the Dough Challenge. So if you have questions in the future, I'm your go-to gal. So I will be recording this webinar and sending it out tomorrow, so you'll be able to see the screen, the slides, if you can't now, and it'll have the recording of the call. And I'll also be sending out some materials for Raise the Dough, some tips and some tricks, so that we can get you started on your fundraising strategies. Raise the Dough, we have some newer kitchens on the call who didn't participate in March Matchness last year, but Raise the Dough is March Matchness renamed because it is not in March this year, so it didn't work anymore. So, and my Prezi, there we go. For some reason isn't working. There we go. So what we're going to talk about today, what is Raise the Dough, just to bring everyone up to speed. We're going to go over prizes. We have some really awesome prizes this year. The rules and the important dates. Like I said, it's not in March this year, so it's a little different. We also changed the platform from First Giving to Razoo, so I'll just go over Razoo a little bit. And then we actually have some guests on the line. We have Abby from Atlas Corps, and she will give us some fundraising tips and best practices for winning an online fundraising competition, which will come in handy. We also have Gettysburg on the line, and we should have Atlantic City on the line later. And Gettysburg has won March Matchness both times that we've hosted it, so they'll have some tips to let everyone know how they did it. So what is Raise the Dough? Like I said, it's an online fundraising competition, and it pits all of the campus kitchens against one another to see who can raise the most money. In the past, it was winner take all. This year, it'll be the top 3 schools as well as the school with the most donors. So it's easier to win this year. It's also April 5th to April 12th. We tried to avoid spring break this year, so it'll be in April.
And you said it was the 5th through the 12th?
Yes, April 5th through the 12th. So it's only a week long this year to make it a little more intense. You'll have to turn in an MOU, which we will be sending you shortly, to participate. And like I said, it starts on April 5th. Any donations received beforehand, obviously you will get that money, but it won't count towards the challenge, just to keep everything fair. Online donations only, because we can't verify an offline donation. So you could say that you received a $2,000 donation, but we can't verify it. So again, in the spirit of fairness, online only. And 10% goes to the national office, and that's across the board, whether you win a prize or not. And that's to cover the price of Razoo. All online fundraising platforms charge a fee, and so we just take a percentage to cover that fee because Campus Kitchens will cover that and handle all of the processing for you. But here's the fun part. Enough with the boring rules and regulations. This year, first place will receive $1,000. So that's pretty cool. But like I said, this year, there'll be more prizes. So it's not just winner take all. Second place will receive $500. Third place will receive $250. And the school with the most donors will receive $750. So you may not necessarily raise the most, but you have a lot of small donations. And so that could put you in the running for most donors. Another thing we're doing, and some of you may remember from last year, we had a competition within a competition. And there was one day where the school with the most donations got a little prize. So, why did I do that? Apologies. This year, the school with the most money on the first day, so April 5th again, will receive clamshells and cookbooks. And we have a couple hundred of each, actually. So you should get a pretty awesome package in the mail. And So just to put things in a little bit of perspective, I pulled last year's stats. So based on 2012, if all of the numbers were the same, the school that came in first earned $3,651. Second was $2,239, and third was $1,846. So those would be the numbers roughly that would have won those top 3 prizes. But the most interesting number, I thought, was for most donations. You would only need 26 donations total to receive that $750 prize. So if you had an LT of 5 people and they emailed five people each, that's 25. So it's actually not impossible to be in the running. Like I said, we switched from First Giving to Razoo. And this is actually what it will look like. Razoo has a team feature. We will actually build it for you. So unlike last year, you don't have to worry about really, figuring out your page. You can customize it, and we'll give you tips on how to do that, but you don't have to go through the whole setup process. We'll take care of that on our end, and it'll create a leaderboard. So I created a little mock-up leaderboard. Unfortunately, it all says $0. Hopefully that will change. But this is what the leaderboard will look like with all of the schools, and so you can keep track of how many donors you have and where you're in the running for the top 3 at least. And there's also a really cool widget that you can put on Facebook that I will give you instructions on how to use. So that's cool. Razoo has this embeddable widget that you can put in places that will help expand your visibility. Now, important dates. Like I said before, the MOU is due on the 18th of March. And then once we receive your MOU, hopefully within a business day, you will then receive a link to your page, the login information, and tips on how to make it your own and make it approachable for your donors and your particular audience. But the absolute deadline that I've set for myself is to have all of the Razoo pages done on the 21st and sent out to all of you on the 21st. So you'll just get this nice package, and you can just customize it right away. We'll then be hosting help hours on March 27th and April 3rd. And those help hours are basically just so that you can call if you have questions about Razoo or customizing your Razoo page or strategy. It's basically any question you have about the competition. You can call during those times, and we can talk for half an hour, and just make sure that you're comfortable before everything starts on the 5th. And the 5th, like I said, there'll be a kickoff where the school with the most donations that day gets a prize. There will also be, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, what I'm calling a Twitter kickoff party. So you can hop on Twitter. We're going to use a hashtag, and it'll basically be a time to just celebrate, raise the dough, and maybe throw around some friendly competition and barbs. And the end of the competition's on the 12th, so it's very quick. It's not as long as last year, and hopefully more intense. So like I said, the Twitter party, the hashtag throughout the whole competition will be raise dough, and it'll be on the 5th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern, and you can use that hashtag to talk with the other kitchens that are participating, to ask me questions, to just kind of celebrate and kick this off. You could also, and this is just a suggestion, host a tabling event and ask donors to tweet that they helped raise dough, and it's just a way to help spread the word. So without further ado, I have Abby on the line, and she's going to explain best practices for winning an online competition, and she is from Atlas Core. So Abby, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, great. Thank you so much for having me here today. I am so excited. All this talk of Twitter chats and mobilizing on campus, and I'm also, to give a little history on myself, very impressed. I don't know if you saw my bio beforehand, but I actually joined the Campus Kitchens project back in 2003. I was the first coordinator at the Campus Kitchen at Gettysburg College, which was the 4th Campus Kitchen. And then in 2005, I was recruited to move to DC to become the first development director for the Campus Kitchens project. I think at that time we had 6 or 7 Campus Kitchens. And I was with the organization through 2008 when I became an Atlas Corps Fellow. And looking at the website, I cannot say how proud I am to see this list of campus kitchens across the country and just the diversity of geography and format and activities you all are doing. And every month when I receive a newsletter or receive updates on Facebook and such, I just, it's so exciting to be part of such a movement, especially supporting hunger relief and really student mobilization. So I commend you all, and I'm proud to be part of the legacy. And so looking now at my background, as you see from this wonderful slide, is I work for an organization called Atlas Corps, and Atlas Corps is an overseas fellowship. And basically we recruit experienced professionals and either bring them to the United States or send them to Colombia. So if we have any Spanish speakers out there that may be looking for an opportunity. And the idea is we engage these professionals in a year of service, and they lend their skills to the organization while also gaining new skills. So right now we have a woman who is actually a social worker by education, and she is from Nigeria and the United Kingdom. And yes, she does have dual citizenship. And she is serving at another hunger relief organization in Washington, D.C. called Miriam's Kitchen. And so we very much believe in this opportunity to build the capacity of the nonprofit sector through global exchange. And so one of the interesting highlights of Atlas Corps is that we only started in 2006. And we started small with a visionary, much like those of you who are probably familiar with the Robert Eggers story and DC Central Kitchen. Our founder, his name is Scott Beal, and have been working with the State Department and came up with this idea of a reverse Peace Corps, is what he called it at the time. And as many people know, often there are social entrepreneurs and visionaries who have a great idea but don't have the resources to make it happen. So they will mobilize friends and family and ask them to invest in what they know is an amazing idea. And that's very similar to what happened with Atlas Corps. And when Atlas Corps initiated, actually I was still at the Campus Kitchens project at that time, and America's Giving Challenge. And some of you remember way back in 2007, 2008 when that launched. And that was a collaborative arrangement with the Case Foundation, with causes on Facebook. And the idea was it was really the first foray into crowdsourced philanthropy. And so the idea was whichever organizations could recruit the most unique donors to donate at least $10 to their organization during a certain time frame could then receive these larger grant opportunities. And I will say that Scott Beal is a very inspirational individual, and he did just that. And he didn't do it just once. He actually did it 4 times in 4 different contests, including twice in America's Giving Challenge, once through Chase, and then another through, a couple through Pepsi. And in that first 2-3 years of getting into crowdsourced philanthropy, the Atlas Corps raised approximately $400,000. So that really pushed us from what was just a pilot concept to this very thriving organization. So our first class of fellows arrived in 2007, and there were 6. And now in 2013, we've had 155 fellows from 49 countries, and we placed them in 8 different cities, both in the U.S. and Colombia. And we have grown to about a $1.5 million nonprofit. So it's pretty exciting, and I think we're a true testament to what can be achieved with these crowdsourced philanthropic opportunities, not just in the hard, cold cash that's raised, but also just in the network mobilization and excitement that becomes part of these activities. And I think that's what we really found, is that those who really helped us become where we are today are so invested, because we weren't founded by millions of dollar grants. We were founded by individuals who donate $10, $20, $30 and got their friends to do the same. So I'm always excited about opportunities like these.
Well, first off, I want to thank you for being on the call. That's really exciting, and I think that, listen up, Campus Kitchens, because there's a lot you can learn here. So thank you.
You're welcome. Excellent. So, well, let's delve into the main course, as I like to always use kitchen analogies when talking to the Campus Kitchens project, is, and I will, I give the caveat that I have the benefit of working under a very inspirational individual that is great at mobilizing people. And so a lot of this will be sharing knowledge that I've learned from him. And the first area I think is so important is building momentum and start yesterday. And it's true. You'll see these crowdsourced philanthropic opportunities, and right now April 5th, if I'm correct, is the kickoff day. Do not wait until April 5th to tell everyone this is what you're doing. You want to start now and look at your strategy. How can you start creating buzz on campus? And I think that happens in a lot of different ways. It'll happen with the personal contact, and I think an opportunity is to really look at, are there other groups, such as other service organizations? Are there any of the Greek Society? Are there any kitchen clubs on campus that do cooking? And we want to partner with you and make this their initiative as well, knowing that all the support would go to funding the campus kitchen at your location. And so look at which groups can you partner with. A second opportunity is looking at where should you be talking? Right now, like March is a great month to go around, and it's a great promo time. You can speak in classes. You can speak at different events. You can, and this is also in the community as well. It's not just limited to campus. And where can you really be spreading the mission of Atlas Corps? Excuse me, I get my organizations confused with the Campus Kitchen. And your goal is obviously to be strong in this fundraising campaign, but it's a great reason to build some awareness. And then I think the third is looking at your online strategy. And you can use your Facebook, you can use Twitter, and what we really like to do, a lot of times we start building events. So we'll create an event on Facebook, we'll start talking about it on Twitter, and people realizing that it's not actually a physical event, but it's something that they can be part of online, and then we invite people and they invite other people. And so start building that momentum now and look at how can you build that momentum. What are your unique strategies? So there's my first tip. And wait, can I, oh, they move this. And the next is segmenting your network. So what we found with Atlas Corps is that people have varying levels of interest in our organization and what we do. Obviously, we wish everyone wanted 150% involvement, though we know that's not always true. So we really took a strategic view of some of our lists, and those include people who may have contributed in the past, people who may be on a newsletter, people who may have volunteered, and we decided who are most likely to be captains. And when I say captains, that means that we're asking them not only to, in this case, donate to the activity, but also to recruit 5 friends to donate as well. And then we have our target leads. And these are the people that we also feel are very committed to our organization, yet may not be so proactive as to want to recruit people, but we're for sure they're going to donate. So we put them on the target lead. And then the next list is our targets. So these are people that we feel comfortable with, though we're not 100% sure if they'll donate. Maybe we're not 100% sure if they're capable of donating. So we'll put them on a target list. And basically, with these titles, we also have different levels of engagement we're going to have with them. So our captains, they're going to be our early adopters. We email them early. So that's what's going on in March. We're saying in 2 weeks, we have this campaign happening. Do you want to be a part of it? And do you want to recruit 5 of your friends to be a part of it as well? And then once they answer back, we then are creating lists of people saying, yes, I want to be a captain, or no, I don't want to be a captain, but yes, I will donate. And in the same way, a week before the contest, we're emailing the target leads as well, and we're asking them a similar question. Will you commit to donating X amount of dollars as part of this campaign? Or will you commit to sharing this message on a communication channel? And so people respond back, and we're tracking that. So when the campaign launches, we actually have lists of, oh, here are the 50 people that said they were going to be captains. Here are the 100 that said they were going to be target leads. And then here are the 100 targets that we heard a positive response from. They didn't say if they're going to donate or not, but they said, okay, contact me when the campaign starts. So then you've already started generating that buzz. And I will say on this list, you're going to have those people that they're more distant. They're like your fourth or fifth cousin that you probably don't talk to very often, and maybe you have that reunion every 10 years. And you probably won't email them until the week of the contest when the buzz is really getting exciting and you really have everything in place. And that's okay, because those are a little farther reach. And so it's an excuse to communicate with them, but you're not overwhelming them since they're not as deeply connected to you. So that's the second tip, is segmenting your network. And then the rule of 3. So I kind of alluded to this when I was talking about segmentation. This is looking at how you're communicating with these people. And so what I think is really important is that you give people distinct actions of what you want to do. And I'm also a firm believer that 3 is a very comfortable number for humans, and people like those 3 actions. So what we always do is when we're putting this communication out and explaining what the contest is, we like to give the first email we send is maybe a little more lengthy, especially to these people, the captains, the target leads, and potentially even your targets that are more familiar with your campus kitchen, that are definitely just not a random individual, but someone who has had some kind of previous action with you. And we'll explain the contest that we have this great crowdsourced philanthropy opportunity, and we're in this contest called Raise the Dough. And our goal is to raise $3,000 in 7 days or 5 days. Can you help make that happen? And so what we're asking is, 1, can you commit to, between April 5th through 14th, I don't know my date's exactly correct, to contributing X amount of dollars. And people react well when you put a dollar amount. And I think this is valuable when looking at segmenting your network, if you have a sense of what kind of contribution they can make. So for a lot of you, you're going to be dealing with college students. So if you say, can you contribute $100, it's probably going to seem overwhelming, and they're going to seem paralyzed and that they're not able to do anything. So be reasonable, be inspiring. Say, can you contribute $10? And then can you get 10 of your friends to also contribute $10? So by forwarding this email, and there's your second action. So the first, you ask them to contribute like $10. The second, you ask them to recruit 10 of their friends to contribute $10. And right there, you have more than $100 in donations. And then the third is, whether you can donate or not, can you commit to sharing this message on your Facebook, emailing 5 friends, on your Twitter? And what we do, we include a Facebook post, an example of a tweet, including this great hashtag that they're mentioning. Let's get some of your network involved in the conversation so you can create a little friendly banter on the Twitter sphere. So include those examples, because when you give people a direct action that's very simple, they're more willing to do it. And then at the end, obviously it's very important to thank them for their participation, regardless of it's donating, recruiting, or communicating. And then I always love to add the PS. And well, my PS that I really enjoy is what impact it's going to make, and just a reminder of how you can donate. And saying, by the way, your $10 contribution means that we provide 2 meals at the Salvation Army shelter. So don't forget to donate here. Some people can actually translate their contribution into an actual impact. So I think that's really important. So the goal is really to make it clear and to make it very simple for what your network can do. So the 3 big things I recommend you all look at, and look at how you can make this happen, is build momentum. So start yesterday, get your plan of action ready so that in March you can really start building excitement. Segment your network, look at how people are going to be communicated with, when they should be communicated with, and maybe what the results you're looking at for those groups are. And then the rule of action, the rule of 3, have 3 opportunities in the email you send, one of them being donation, another being inviting other people to donate, and the third being communicating this opportunity to others. So those are the 3 big tips I recommend for mobilizing your network. I also, and Jill, if you want to switch to the next slide,
Oh, the next slide is Gettysburg.
Oh, sorry, because you were going to send those out.
Yeah.
And you're actually going to send, oh, sorry, I will not talk about Gettysburg because I will not know. She's going to send out afterwards. There's a couple of videos, and one of them is one of the chase contests that we won. They asked us to do a little bit on social media that definitely offers some insight from our founder and CEO as well. So I encourage you to watch that. And then the other one is in the first contest we were ever in. I am a big fan of the challenge, the gimmick. People like to be part of a winning team. So I encourage you every day to post, how are you doing on your campaign? Let people know, get people excited, create that buzz. And I encourage you to reach out to other campus kitchens and to say, you know, we're going to challenge you. They do it for the Super Bowl. They had a Super Bowl service challenge and say, you know what, Augsburg College, if they can raise more than Mankato, then guess what, we're going to come down and cook in your campus kitchen for a night. It's, you know, an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, or we're going to send you a shirt from our campus kitchen and you have to wear it. So do something fun. The video we showed is actually an intern in the Atlas Corps office, and he was actually a relatively new intern. And what he committed to doing, he committed to getting 100 of his friends to donate $10 each to the to Atlas Corps. And once that happened, he committed to wearing his tighty whities and to bike in. This was cold fall. It was probably like 40-degree temperatures, about a 20-mile bike ride to Mount Vernon and back in Washington, D.C. And so he recorded it all on YouTube. He posted it up to thank all his followers, and it was an amazing initiative. We never asked. It was something he offered. He just felt so compelled, and he loved the idea of a challenge. So get creative. Not saying you have to ride a bike in your tighty whities, but if you watch the video, it was a lot of fun.
Well, that's an idea. Well, thank you, Abby, again. Great ideas. And I will be passing around those 2 videos that Abby mentioned. So they will be in the packet that I send out tomorrow. So thank you again. That was some really great advice. I hope you guys were taking notes.
Wonderful. And good luck, everyone.
So up next is Gettysburg. And Kim, you're on the line, right? Okay. Gettysburg is a 2-time March Madness champion, and they have agreed to chat and let you know how they did it. So, Kim, if you want to tell us a little bit about what your strategy was, what some of your challenges were, and just some sage advice to see if someone can upset you this year.
Just what we're hoping for, right? If we're on speakerphone, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it was interesting to listen to Abby because I think, you know, although we didn't use exactly those tactics, a lot of what we did was things that she mentioned. I mean, I think the building of the momentum, it happens all year long for us, and that's not just for this fundraising event, but for supporting our campus kitchen and making it a viable part of the community. And so we are, you know, constantly in communication with donors, with people in the community, with other food-related organizations. We're part of a local food policy council of a number of people from, you know, health professionals to social service agencies to farmers that, you know, that come together to really make change happen around our food system. And so that is something that helps us tremendously, you know, in addition to, I mean, I think everybody probably does this, but keeping a long list of everyone that's volunteered in our kitchen, from people that are current students to people that, you know, are part of the community or alumni. And so we continue to gather all of those people that have supported the campus kitchen in a variety of ways. And we participate in a lot of, community events and dialogues, and are connected with the agencies that we support through food, who then are connected to other people. So those connections really help us a lot in this competition. I think another thing is that I don't know what other kitchens necessarily were raising money for, but we were very specific. It wasn't going towards our campus operations, our kitchen operations. It's been going towards being able to connect to provide people that are not eligible for like emergency food benefits or SNAP recipients, but still are sort of feel like they're in the gap and are food insecure. It's raising money so that we can provide fresh fruits and vegetables from our farmers market to those people, which is a hot topic around the nation. People are realizing that just throwing, spam at people is not the solution to everyone's health and the well-being of our community. And so people want to support, especially in our rural community where there's a lot of farmers and a lot of people that have CSAs and a lot of farm markets want to be able to support that. So I guess another point is, be very specific with what you're raising money for and make sure it's something that people have a lot of energy about. I think that another thing that we realized over the years is that people like a competition. I think that making it 1 week is even more exciting. It's sort of cut a little bit drawn out by the second week, and people want to win. We had, I think, one of the most surprising things was our college posted it on their Facebook site, not just our Campus Kitchen Facebook site, and there's over 8,000 followers on the college's Facebook page, and some random father that we did not even know, their child wasn't even connected to the Campus Kitchen. He just wanted to support his child. Gave like $600 so that we would win the competition the first year. And so you're never quite sure what people's motivations are, but the bigger reach you have, the more possibilities I think there are. We did a lot of social media and then emailing people directly, split things up between our leadership team and our student coordinators, and kind of made lists as you were talking about, and then asked for specific donations. People that donated the first year, we emailed all of them very specifically and said, we thank you again for your donation. Please consider increasing it. And that helped a lot. A lot of those people gave a second time, and then we were able to find new donors as well. The other thing I think that helped the second time around and will help hopefully this third time around is explaining, as Abby said in sort of the PS, but explaining the benefits. By raising this money the first year, this is what we were able to do. In the second year, this is how much more we were able to do, and what our goals are, for the project that we're supporting for the third year. Sort of allowed people to see how much their donation has enabled change to happen in the community. That's about all I got. I don't know if people have questions.
No, that's great. There'll be questions at the end, but I just want to, again, thank you for being willing to share your secrets. I don't think everyone would be willing to share secrets for winning 2 times in a row, but I really do appreciate that, and that's some really, really good advice. So next up, and I don't know if they're on the call, and if they're not, I can briefly speak to it. Do I have anyone from Atlantic City on the call? They stood me up. Anyway. I have
one more thing I could possibly add if they're not there.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if this is encouraged or not, but something that I've thought of is that lots of students don't necessarily get out a credit card and make it happen. And if they do, it's, not often a lot, but sometimes there's other activities on campus that you could do a fundraiser for, or ask different clubs to collect, $1 from each person at their club meeting. And then we're able to sort of collect that money and put it on somebody's credit card.
Right. Some schools did do that.
Other ways besides online to sort of raise that money and then put it in. I guess it only counts for one person's donation, but it helps to sort of increase and helped our chances of winning by doing that.
Exactly. WashU actually did that last year. That's a really good strategy and a good point. They had a fridge fund, and so if people donated $1, they could put this paper vegetable in this giant fridge they had made. So it was a visual, and they then in turn put those donations on someone's credit card. So that is a way around that online donation thing. So that's a good point. Atlantic City, they came in third last year, and they basically just have this fiery competitive spirit. I think is how I can explain how they came in third. They actually surpassed their goal, I think, twice last year, at least once. So they set a concrete goal, and then when they surpassed it, they created a new one. So they were almost unstoppable last year. They just kept plowing through their goals. So they just harnessed that competitive spirit in their students. So basically, what's next? Figure out your campus kitchen's goal. A concrete goal is best. And like I said, WashU last year had a fridge fund, so that could be an example is a piece of equipment you need or supplies that you need. And then talk with your LT and start planning events. Like Abby said, start planning yesterday. And reach out to your contacts and community partners and try to coordinate some efforts and maybe some events. We'll need your MOU by March 18th, and then we can start customizing your Razoo page. And then just reach out to family, friends, and have fun with it. It's a very short week. It'll go by quickly. And just try to infuse creativity and your campus kitchen's unique outlook and spirit into it and customize it as best as possible. So at this point, if anyone has any questions, whether for me or Cam at Gettysburg or Abby, let us know. This is the perfect time. We're all on the phone. And if not, my email's on the bottom. It's jroberts@campuskitchens.org, and I respond very quickly, usually. So if you have a question, just shoot me an email, and I'll get back to you. So does anyone have any questions?
I have a question, Jill.
Sure.
Jenny, and I'm just wondering the most donors prize.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a separate? Can you only win one prize? So what if the school that has the most money also has the most donors? And maybe you already said this.
Right, I didn't, but that's a good question. You can only win one, but you'll win say you are eligible for 2 prizes, you'll get most. So say you came in first and had the most donors, you'll get the first place prize, so the $1,000, and then that actually bumps everyone up. So the example I gave from last year, it was actually Gonzaga had 26 donors, but they actually were maybe 4th with the number of donors. The top 3 schools had more. It's just they had already won a prize. So schools will get bumped up if that happens.
Got it.
What about the
I actually have a question too. I'm wondering, about the guidelines. Could we be running sort of a prize-based competition as well? So, for example, if a team captain gets 20 people to donate, could we give the team captains a prize? Could we be running prizes within our competition?
I mean, that's your call. What you do. I mean,
I want to make sure that wasn't legal according to.
I don't think so. I can get back to you about that. I don't think that would be a problem. Just Laura is telling me that that's fine. So you should be all set.
And I was going to say, and highly encouraged. I like that idea.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I'm just thinking that we could get donations from local organizations or businesses and stuff like that. That could help with, if you donate, you get put in the pool, a pool of people to win this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I mean, I like that idea. The more creative, the better.
Or even like something between all the members of the LT, where whoever wins gets a special dinner made by all the rest of the members of the LT, or something like that.
Yeah.
So and all the other LT have to do the dishes or something.
Yeah, and they're the ones that cook it and the whole thing or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I also like the idea of doing those mini competitions, and we'll have to figure out something else that we can encourage everyone to do. Maybe not underwear running or riding bikes, but something along those lines could work really well. And even Emily at Gonzaga did her, not flash dance, what is
flash mob.
Flash mob, there we go. Very different.
Flash dance, yeah, different.
So, cool.
I thought I heard someone ask something about clamshells.
If someone, that was me, Jill.
Yeah.
If someone wins one of the other prizes, or they win the clamshells, can they
The clamshells are a separate deal. It's April 5th, so we would have no way of knowing if they're going to wind up ultimately winning something on the 12th. So last year, the mini competition, I believe Gettysburg and Kent won, and Gettysburg ultimately won the whole thing. So it's a one-time deal. So you could win clamshells and $250, for example.
Yeah.
What's the clamshells, meaning like styrofoam containers or what?
They're plastic.
Okay.
BC Central Kitchen got, how many do we have, Kate?
I think what we're looking at it is about 500, I would call them small meal containers, but they're plastic meal containers that potentially could be reusable. We haven't tried them with industrial kitchens yet. Sorry, say that one more time, Amanda?
Sorry. Are they the eco takeouts, or are they...
They're a slightly different shape, so but similar idea.
Or like the half-size one, because I know
that
when we
I can take a picture and send it around so y'all can see. But I mean, we have 500 of them to give away, so
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I think they're pretty cool for a lot of the ones that do home deliveries, or even if you do lunch programs for kids during the summer. All of that kind of stuff can fit really well into these containers. So. Okay. Yeah, we figured share the love. Since we have some of those around, why not?
Any other questions? Now's the time. Don't be shy. All right. Well,
go ahead. I just want to throw out a big thanks to Jill for putting this together and bringing in some experts in the community who know what they're doing, so that we can have a really, really awesome raise the dough.
Yeah, and it should be awesome this year. Again, shorter, more intense, and some really cool prizes. Thank you to everyone for being on the call, especially Kim and Abby. You guys were awesome and gave us some really great ideas. So everyone on the call, go back to your LTs and explain, what this is, and try to get everyone pumped for this. I expect some close competition this year, so I'll be watching you. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email, and I will get back to you. And you should be getting tomorrow. I will be sending a recording of this as well as some materials that we've put together, some more tips to get you started. So have a great evening, guys, and have a great weekend since it's almost Friday. And take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.